pull up and the top is missing. The opposition and all that lane switching. This is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennial.
The coach, you're used to rain all the time over there in Orlando. It is a much less frequent occurrence here, yet wet weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Well, he's going to take it. He's got a man. Complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run with Hines. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
We got to seal. Let's get the ball. Mike 9. Bang Hill. Watch the slap.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Hines. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Come on.
Here's Hines. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They got to get to the 23 here on third.
I'm coming for you, son.
They'll look to throw here. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 13. And it'll be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Hey, watch it, watch it. Hey, motion backfield. Mark 50, switch ball. Mark 3. Get some penetration.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 87 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check hot route. Hot. He's coming. We got double up.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Nyheim Hines. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Hey, tight. Mark 56.
From the gun, Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Second and 9 now from the 21. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They're going to look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 8. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Hodges. 25 yards that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run with Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. 2nd and 3. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards, 1st down Niners.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll set up a throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you get a heck of a tight end candidate.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Where's the mic? Watch one. Watch one.
They'll look to throw. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Give him 30 yards there. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They run the counter. It's Hines, and he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal.
Hey, we got to seal. We got to seal. We got to seal. Y'all not ready? Hayward. Mike 9.
Back to throw here. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. It was the linebacker, Devin White, there to knock it away.
Incomplete. It's 4th and goal at the 3-yard line.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll throw now on the final play. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. From 3 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. This time, the extra point up and good. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Check 24. Slam. Check nickel. Let's go.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Here's Jackson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Go, go, go.
2nd and 4. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 23 yards the pickup there.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now it's Hines, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long. And they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. 18 yards, 1st down Niners. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Big series right here. We got to step up.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Check. Mike 1. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. That's it.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3.
For the field goal, a 45-yard attempt.
And this one is right down the middle. And that'll bring them back within 4. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Got to do better. Rush in. Switch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Check 26. It's a 6. Hold it. Now. He's checking. Crash.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Check, 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 check. 1, 6, 4, 3, 1.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Jackson going for Metcalf on the deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. First down San Francisco, the pickup 14 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards, first down Niners. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are back within a single score. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 23 yards, the final tally. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He'll drop to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 19.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
So Mike's number one, let's go. Here we go. Here we go.
2nd and 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. His first career touchdown pass, and it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate. Save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now a toss here, short side. He's got the first down here inside the 30. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Yeah, let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward.
Intercepted. Jimmy Ward there defensively.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not...
Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Seahawks, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.